218 pounds. He is the great Greg Gagne.
Hey, what's up? This is Dominic D'Angelo. I got to move us around. It's Dominic D'Angelo, OneTrueSportTV.com, FourHorsemenNetwork.com, and we are live at 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. It is Greg Gagne, Magnum TA, Straight Talk with the boss.
Merry Christmas, everyone.
Merry Christmas. Greg, welcome back. We missed you last week.
Yeah, I had a tough go.
Well, it's good to have you back in the old mix.
Yeah, my back has been bothering me so much. I couldn't even walk.
Jeez.
And Laura called the ambulance. They came in, stuck me on a stretcher, and they hauled me down this narrow stairway and out. And then they gave me so many damn drugs. I've been sick ever since. I mean, just, ugh.
Ooh.
Yeah. But they got me walking again.
That's good. That's good. And, yeah, we're glad to see you're doing okay. And,
thanks for last week. I appreciate you guys handling it. And I heard you did a great job. It was better without me.
Oh, no. We didn't. No. I didn't make fun of Dominic one time.
Not at all.
I didn't have anybody to tease.
Okay.
Well, before we get, how about Dom? Everywhere I turn, you're doing play-by-play now? For who?
Yeah. IWC, International Wrestling Cartel, out of Pittsburgh here. It's the premier Pittsburgh pro wrestling promotion, and I was fortunate enough to be on commentary for their Pittsburgh Classic pay-per-view, and maybe more to come too. So
really, well, good job.
Thank you. I'll send you guys a link too to the one match I call. It's a lot of fun.
One day Greg will be able to tell our grandkids we worked with them.
That's it. That's it. But yeah, it's been fun, and yeah, maybe more to come. I always like Marcus, my brother. He's been wrestling a lot, so it's cool to go on that journey with him too.
And are you're gonna try to wrestle?
I'm tempted. So the thing is, I have to go to an eye doctor and see if I am able to do that stuff because, because I have like a stretch retina in my left eye. The rumor is,
you need to get dropped on your head. No,
that's what I'm thinking.
No, you don't need to do that.
That's what I'm kind of thinking too. But I am tempted.
Now you got the gift of gab. You just need to stay on the side. You need to stay safe.
Thanks, Magnum. I appreciate it. Yeah. So, but yeah, it's been fun. We'll see what else is to come down that pipeline. But happy to be with you guys today. Got to have a newsworthy episode. I think we got some good ground to cover. Saturday night's main event. We'll have. I also wanted to get some thoughts, just developing with WWE a little bit more. And I wanted to get your thoughts on that Drew McIntyre promo that he did on Busted Open. Did either of you happen to see that? I'll play it later on if you haven't. But
I haven't seen it.
Okay.
I haven't seen it either.
Okay, so I have a clip of it that I'll play later on. But
let's talk a little about TNA today too.
Absolutely, that's what I was going to lead off with.
Were you really? I'm sorry to jump.
Oh, that's okay. That. You're okay. So big event that happened this past weekend on Friday for TNA. We had a major return, and somebody Magnum is very familiar with, and Tessa Blanchard making a big return, attacking Jordan Grace, and really setting a tone for the show. Magnum, I wanted to get your reaction, your thoughts about Tessa being back in the fold of TNA and on an American wrestling product as well.
I'm glad to see her on something that I can understand the commentary, that it's in English, to be completely transparent. But it was to be on a program and have an impact when you get that chance is a very special thing for us in the wrestling industry. And Tessa had an opportunity, and I mean, not only hit a home run, but she hit a grand slam. It was perfect interview after whole deal, set the tone. So many people have been running their mouth for so many years now, and ignorance is a motivator for a lot of people to say a lot of things when they don't know the whole story. But the fact of the matter is, she was helping help TNA climb that ladder of notoriety back before the pandemic, and had trailblazed and gone places no woman has ever gone in our industry. climbing to the top of their men's division, and the fact that that door and that opportunity lined up again for her to reinsert herself in that environment, it's going to be an exciting ride because she's there to take no prisoners. It's going to be good.
Yeah.
How are their ratings compared to say
from what I've been told, they're the best ratings they've had in maybe forever, at least over the last several years, and that they are people at NXT and AEW are going to have to start waking up and recognize the fact that there's somebody out there that's actually putting on a wrestling product that is getting people's attention. And they're on TNA Plus, which is really easy to find now. It's not like you gotta go scrubbing through the your channel changer to go to the Anthem, whatever stations those guys are on. We live in an app friendly world, and that programming is top notch. I mean, I watched their entire pay-per-view, and bell to bell they put on a whale of a product that would rival just about anybody for content.
Well, the cool thing too is moving forward, they announced this was a couple weeks ago. They announced that they would be going to LA and New York City for some big events, and so bringing Tessa back into the fold is such I think a savvy move on their part to really hit a good sticking point when it comes to getting that talent, making people aware of the women's knockouts division. Because I mean, you think about what they did throughout the course of the time when it comes to the knockouts. They were synonymous. They were almost the premier women's division in pro wrestling, I would say. And
Gail Kim and that whole crew, made that what it was, and to have Gail's fingerprints all over what they're currently doing still today, and Tommy Dreamer and different guys, working behind the scenes there, and their new leadership with Ariel. I mean, it's an exciting time to see what 2025 is going to look like for that product.
I know I'm very excited for it too, and I'm happy for Tessa. It's just like, what you were saying, like, you only, when it's on social media and the discourse that gets put on there, you're only getting a tilted side of a lot of things. And I just thought it was just an unfortunate circumstance that all that kind of happened. And so, her being able to get this opportunity again and like just still keeping her nose to the grindstone, even though if she wasn't on like a mainstream American product, it's really refreshing to see her get back into it. And I'm looking forward to seeing what they do with her more. And I think she can really, really help TNA out in a major way.
I think so too. And I mean, again, they've got some guys, on that program that are just, really, really talented. I hadn't watched a lot of their programming, start to finish, just since she'd been out of it, like that Ace Austin guy.
Oh yeah, he's awesome.
Man, he was good 4 years ago.
Yeah,
he has elevated his game like linear. I mean, he is, could be on a main roster, wherever he wanted to be. I mean, his talent in the ring is pretty hard to deny. So, with the Hardy Boys there and Nick Nemeth and that crew and Brian Myers and Moose and Eddie and they've just got a lot going on in it, but it's the continuity of the show. You watching a wrestling program. This program will take you on a journey from here to here, and you don't get lost in between and need breadcrumbs to remember what it was you went there for to begin with. So it's just very sound, solid, good common sense wrestling programming, and I'm rooting for them.
Yeah, me too, big time. And I think, what you were saying about Ace Austin, he's been around for a few years, but he's still very young. And it's like he's really growing into a persona and identity. And I think he's been paired with the Hardys here as of recent. And that's just a great, great way to kind of build him up and help him out in a lot of ways. And he was teaming with Chris Bay, and who was very talented. And so sad to see Chris Bay out of the action and purge go for him and stuff. But it will be very neat to see what they do moving forward.
Yeah, for sure.
Mhm.
But anyway, big week in wrestling. WWE back on the main event on Saturday night. I mean, talk about nostalgic and hitting all the bells and whistles and bring Jesse Ventura out there. Poor guy, but he came out. I don't know if it was the lighting or what, but he looked like he had Paul Bearer did his his makeup for him or something. I mean, it was just he was washed out. I guess was the only thing I could say. But he sounded great. I mean, he's still Jesse. He's still sharp, sharp and witty and very much off the cuff with what comes out of his mouth.
Yeah.
But still very good.
Yeah, I think they acclimated him to the product pretty well when it came to what the stories were, some of the stories and stuff like that, and got him involved. My cat's way up top here lurking, but I enjoyed it. It takes you back, the old look, the feel of it all, and just the presentation, the referees and the bow ties. Greg, what did you think about the Saturday night's main event?
I thought it was very good. I thought it was one of the best programs I've seen them put out from top to bottom. It was really a classic night of professional wrestling for everybody. And, from the talent on down, the show was unbelievable. I thought just fantastic. And I usually don't give a lot of these shows a lot of credit, as you know.
I said, yeah.
I'm sorry, we're having trouble here. It's been with our TV. MediaCom is the company we have with all our, Jesus, it's just in and out. I did it the other night during the main event. Oh yeah, it's classic stuff.
Well, Greg,
I'm looking for a new place to move just so I have better internet connections.
Come on down to Pittsburgh.
Yeah. But what did you think of it? I mean, God, from top to bottom, every match was phenomenal.
It was so fun. I like too that the matches didn't overstay their welcome. Like it was just, it kept to like the mainstream. You wanted to attract new fans, and the ratings for that, I think they got like at least over 2 million viewers for it. So people tuning in.
I heard 45 million viewers.
Oh, really?
That's what they had. That's what they put up on their social media.
Maybe
they might have had 45 million on social media.
Social media might have been that. Because I think they got they either got 2.1 million or 2.8 million. I can't remember. My cat, what are you doing up there? But
you get a leap on the back of your neck.
Do something, right? He's up to no good right now. Don't knock anything too crazy over here, right?
So let's see if they had say 2.5 million. What is AEW? What kind of numbers are they doing?
Oh, not good. Your good friend Eric Bischoff predicted in 2023 that by the end of 2024 they would be below 600,000, and sure enough, they are.
They are, huh?
Oh yeah.
And TNA was over 1 million. Good for them.
Yeah, TNA's been, and what you were saying too, Magnum. Like the neat thing about TNA is they've been filling the venues up. So, and it's not like they play huge venues, so you get that great atmosphere. And
you get a building a whole 1,000, 1,500 people, fill it up.
Right.
It's very, very much like what we used to do in Spartanburg or these, like high school, settings or whatnot. And it's electric when you get that intense of a crowd in a small building. The sound is unbelievable.
Oh yeah.
In fact, Monday night with Raw, where were they? Pittsburgh?
No, they were in. Oh my gosh! For Raw, they were Boston. They were in Boston.
And the crowd was kind of up and down. I thought. We're not like the crowd like for the main event on Saturday. Man, that group was on fire.
That was at the Nassau Coliseum too,
and that was from the beginning to the end. But a lot of the things, just going back to Raw on Monday night, did you guys get a chance to watch it?
Yes, I did. I watched it.
Did TA have a chance?
No.
It was a lot of the same thing, a lot of repeats. Started out with Rollins and CM Punk getting in this big fight went out of the ring all over the arena. And then a little later, there was another one back in the locker room. Now with another group.
Drew and Sammy, I think.
There was like 3 or 4 of these battles outside of the ring, not in the arena. I mean, in the back of the arena or out in the parking lot or wherever, you know, and I really lost the whole feel for this program. There was just, it was like it was lost. There was no continuity to it.
Well, something that I was made aware of too, and then that I didn't know, but my co-host Robert Karplus on Rumor and Innuendo, he happened to mention that they taped 2 shows of Raw. So what they did, so like they did for next week, for next Monday, they have another set of taping. So I think what they kind of did was disperse out a little bit of the talent. If you remember too, Greg, like Damian Priest only showed up at the end of Raw to cost the tag titles, but I'm sure he'll be a bigger factor on next week, you know, because they were they'll be using him later on. And you still got CM Punk in the mix because all they did was brawl. So you can have him do something next week. So I think, it seemed a little like out of place in certain ways, I would think. And some of the stuff seemed a little
repeating.
Like,
I mean, things were repeating.
Yeah.
You see one fight outside the ring. You don't need to see 3 more.
No.
It just doesn't, it loses its impact.
Yeah.
You know.
But I thought it was a good program still. But it's back to Saturday night's main event.
Oh.
Man. Yes. Greg, I did want to get your thoughts though. Magnum gave his, we talked about last week, Magnum and I talked about Jesse. We talked about Jesse before. I wanted to get your thoughts on his performance.
Go ahead, TA.
No, he gave it already.
I already gave mine.
I wanted yours. Take what if you can't separate yourself. It's just from
Jesse Ventura is all about Jesse Ventura. And maybe I've told you this before, but you know, I get the help get all the talent for Powertown.
Yeah.
So I called up Jesse and I said, "Hey, Jesse, I just got off the phone with Adonis, Adrian's wife. And, you know, she's struggling a little bit. And I've got her on board for the action figures and other merchandise that we do. And love to have you on board with Adrian as a tag team. I mean, that's where you guys really hit it." You know what he said to me? "Why would I do anything for him or her?"
Man.
That's when I totally have lost all respect for Jesse the Body Ventura. And if I could say something nice, he does a good job on the commentary, you know. But that's about it for me.
Did he have beef with Adrian?
I never thought he did. I mean, Christ almighty, I said to him, "Well, Adrian kind of carried you in your matches, you know." I know he didn't like that, but then he talked for 45 minutes. And I just sat there and listened to him.
He's a talker.
And you know, he's talking about Trump and the election coming up, and what he would do, and if he was vice president for Trump, and he just went on for 45 minutes. I never said another word after I got out about Adrian, and then finally said, "Hey, I got to get going." Click.
It's funny. I interviewed him like 2 years ago, I think it was, and it was basically like I just let him talk for like the majority.
That's all he does.
I got along fine with him. Like I thought it was a good interview and stuff like that, and we talked only a little bit of wrestling at the end. That was it. But
well, he's a good interview. You know, he's a good talker. But it always ends up all about him. You know, and I mean that pissed me off so much. A guy like Adrian, who performed as well as he did in the ring and carried Jesse through those tag matches, you know, and everybody else that worked so hard around him to make him look good. And to come out with that attitude, you know, why would I want to help them? His wife's struggling? My God. So that's all I want to say about Jesse the Body Ventura.
Well, I tell you what, Adrian Adonis was amazing. And my goodness, like just
phenomenal athlete. Yeah.
And I was only familiar with him in the WWE persona as a heel, the flower shop and all that stuff. So seeing his look before that was pretty cool. It's like, wow, yeah, he had a great look.
I didn't like that what they did with him when he went to the WWE.
Yeah,
I had him. I wrestled him in Las Vegas after he left the WWE. And he was 300 and some pounds.
Yeah,
and you couldn't have the kind of match with him that he was capable of having, because he'd get winded and just didn't have the endurance to do it. And he was such a great performer. I mean, he was phenomenal. TA, did you ever cross paths with him?
No, did not. I'm trying to think of where we were in just different parts of the globe. But yeah, the Danny story is the Danny Spivey story is a thing that I'll never forget about the whole Adrian Adonis deal.
Yeah. What's that? What story is that?
Well, Adrian evidently could be a bully sometimes. And he tried to take advantage of Danny Spivey in the ring in New York, and Danny pretty much shut him down like so bad that I don't think he ever really recovered from it. It hit him so hard, just split him, busted him open so bad, he was really never the same after it was all over with. I'm not talking about like some melee either. I'm talking about like 3 punches, bam, 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 over.
My goodness.
Yeah.
Yeah, Dan Spivey was nobody to mess with.
No, he was not. He's a good guy too.
Man.
So, but not to transgress. The Saturday night show was phenomenal. They showcased things. Cody brought out the old wing belt, which was cool. Homage to his, for his dad, and the whole thing. But it seemed like they made it a show into itself, which was highly entertaining, and didn't do things to further. Now, I say not things to do to further the angle. Did the aftermath with Cody and did that happen on camera?
No.
So,
but they played it on Raw the other night.
Right. So, see, I didn't see that. I didn't see Raw. So that was great. So they took it. But to me, when you had that 2 million plus eyes on, is when I would have done it.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. Because it would have carried over into Monday night. But it also, I guess they were playing the game and wanting to make people happy and where they want to be at the end of the day. I just looked at it as, showing some cutting edge of what what the art of wrestling has become today, and would have made people want to watch it again, not turn them off. It would have been like, oh my gosh, did you see that? That was a flipping international incident. That took place. So I'm sure there's advertising people. There was all kinds of other things playing into the degree of violence they wanted to show, on that program. Mm-hmm. There was a lot of, but the old school me would have liked to have seen it, get that twisted piece in the tail end of it. So it wasn't just, it was just a conclusion. Oh, wow, that's great. He did what he said he was going to do, on to the next thing. So
it was really well done. I mean, they carried Cody out on a stretcher.
Yeah. It was a big kind of angle thing.
It really was. And the people were hot.
Yeah.
And it's,
and the people in the building were hot.
Yes, they were.
If you'd had the whole world hot.
Oh, I know. And I couldn't figure that either. It left it kind of cold, and it was kind of at the end, and there wasn't much left for Kevin.
No.
But after that, after the finish, after it all happened, after we went off the air, holy balls, the heat went back on him. But I think I don't know, why they did it that way, but they had their reasons.
Yeah, well, no, I'm sure there's some great big old monsters, worldwide television reasons why they took the path they did. And, they had some, they had the U.S. title, the women's title deal. that with Chelsea Green, that that was a cool thing to showcase on that show. That was a deal, and she's certainly gotten lots of momentum and put people over in dumpster matches and everything else. So it was cool that they gave her a shine and gave her a plug, because I mean she's turning into a baby face.
Oh yeah, she is.
Yeah, big time.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's I'm looking forward to seeing what they do with her. But like it was cool to see yeah, I'm with you guys though. Like I almost feel like you want to send the fan home tappy, especially on like a big presentation like that. But ultimately, you're getting people to hook in and want to tune into Monday to see, hey, what's up with Cody? Are we going to see the deal with him? And what's next for Kevin Owens and all that kind of thing. So you almost want to have that hook for everybody to see, so you can reel more people. And
I'd have almost done it like they were closing out the show and running the credits and seeing this train wreck going on in the back.
Yeah.
Holy crap. We got to tune in tomorrow to find out what happened. Same bat time, same bat station,
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
It just seemed like, an opportunity. That's all.
Well, the match itself was fantastic.
Oh, yeah.
It really great. Threw some great curveballs in there.
Yeah, it was fantastic. Gunter's match and the six, the 3-man, triple threat match deal. That was fantastic. I mean,
how about with Gunther?
That's what I'm saying. He was.
They're cheering him.
They are.
Oh yeah, he's.
You said that a couple of weeks ago, or maybe a month ago.
Yeah.
We talked a little bit about it last week too. Yeah.
What are you going to hate about a guy that says what he's going to do and goes out there and does it?
Yeah.
Does it really well and entertains you in the process.
It's hard.
I'm glad we're not exchanging the chops with him.
There was a time when I would have, but today it's hard to fathom.
Yeah.
My goodness. Right. He's just he's awesome. Like he adds such a different element to the product that you don't get. And it's really refreshing to see. And so, it'll be interesting to see how I think they're going to push him back more towards the heel role here, but it's neat to see him in the.
I don't know if they can.
Run. You don't think so? I think they probably could though. Like, especially once WrestleMania season starts picking up and maybe his big opponent could be like John Cena or somebody like that. I think you could kind of push him back in that regard. But
I
don't know.
Yeah. I guess if you went with somebody like that.
Yeah. Wrestling fans are fickle though. So who knows, How
about the Braun Breaker one with
Kaiser?
With Kaiser.
That was
Kaiser, they came out. He got some applause on the way out.
Oh yeah. Mm-hmm.
He's another one. They had a great match.
They did. They really did. Just a definitive ending too, with Breaker just spearing him and pinning him. I thought that was good way to finish it off. Mm-hmm. But they definitely put Braun in that babyface role for that match.
Yeah, they did.
Again, he's another guy that'll be interesting to see how they handle him.
They got a lot going on.
Absolutely, they do, in a lot of good ways too.
Yeah.
Looking for Netflix January. Can't get.
Yeah, they're really plugging that one, aren't they?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, it'll be interesting to see what surprises they have, because we'll have Roman Reigns taking on Solo Sikoa. That'll be the tribal combat match, and then right now we also have CM Punk versus Seth Rollins, which should be really good too, I think.
And the girls' match was.
Is that where they're determining the Intercontinental Champion? The women's.
No, I think. Oh God.
Is it Liv
Morgan and
Rhea?
Rhea Ripley.
Yeah, see, that'd be great. Oh man, yeah. So they're really stacking the deck there, and who knows? I'd imagine we'd see Cena there, maybe. The Rock shows up. Who knows?
I'm sure The Rock will be there. Yeah,
they'll do something.
It'll be interesting to see what that match is like. I bet it's going to be pretty brutal.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
On for Netflix.
Yeah, it'd be interesting to see how long they run it. Will it be over 2 hours? Will it be a 3-hour show? I'm not keen on what it is yet.
No. What do you think, TA? Think it's be a brutal match, Reigns and
Yeah, they need to.
Mm-hmm.
I just don't know. I don't know if I mean I know Roman is in that zone. He can go out there and bring it, but I don't know if the other guy is ready, or or maybe the way they've used him. Maybe just he's just not the killer flipping heel
Yeah.
like I envisioned him to be when he was first in the role and when he was the enforcer for Roman, and he was just just nasty with that spike thumb. It's almost like they watered him down, like him talking too much has humanized him too much rather than him being the Samoan madman. Like you can imagine Jacob like that. But anybody that starts talking too much, that the talk doesn't match the persona exactly, it can be a double-edged sword a little bit.
My prediction. What's the Tonga? Is that the big rough one?
That's you're thinking of, well, Jacob Fatu's the big
with Jacob Fatu.
Yeah.
I'm just predicting that he gets involved in that match.
Mm-hmm.
And The Rock maybe comes to the aid of Roman Reigns.
Ooh, that'd be interesting. That would be.
You're looking up at.
I think Rock's going to stay in that heel zone, and I think, yeah, I do, and because Roman's clearly in the babyface land now, and I think he's going to stay in that. I'm mad. The cut your throats guys, all you guys, making a pact together when we were mortal enemies last WrestleMania, and all that stuff. He's. I think him coming to the save at this point would almost defeat the purpose of all the work that was putting to him as a heel.
Mm-hmm.
I am with you though, Greg, that I think Fatu might get involved and perhaps cost Roman that I don't know the name of the Ula Fata, I think it's called, is that the tribal chief necklace.
Uh-huh.
I think Fatu might save that for Solo, and then you could really set a good table maybe to build towards Jacob Fatu versus Roman Reigns when it comes to could that be a WrestleMania match?
Well, I'll flip it the other way for you. Roman could win the thing back, and Jacob could come out and get so much flipping heat on him after the fact that it's a made deal. They got no way that he just comes completely unleashed and nobody can control him.
Yeah.
Because thus far, they've always been like, stop this, don't do that, hold him back. Mm-hmm. If he became in the people's mind, somebody was come unglued and wasn't going to play by the rules and, beat the hell out of about 15 people and left Roman laying in the puddle, then, they might have some money there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Eddie Prather makes a good point here in the chat. He says, I see The Rock having the new bloodline turning on Solo. And he says, The Rock can point out Solo as the weak link. And that would be pretty intriguing, I think. And Magnum, to what you're saying in regards to like, hey, we're not really getting that initial vibe that we got from Solo starting off. If you remove him from the equation and take him off television for a while, and then you bring him back in a more like new Solo, quote unquote, pun intended, role, where he's got a loner on his own or something to that effect, you could maybe have you could reinvigorate him. But then it builds The Rock as this new bloodline, the new master of the bloodline, kind of thing. So there could be some possibilities there, maybe.
Yeah, and it's not his fault. I mean,
no, I agree.
Roman was so strong on the mic. He had Paulie there with him to give him the setup every time. He had this master class going on every time they were out there, and all of a sudden you pitched the mic to this new guy who did, really unbelievable job considering his experience level and everything else. But nobody was going to follow that act with the same intensity, or to the same degree or credibility or whatever. And maybe that was part of the design, realizing that, hey, you're not going to overdo what's already been done so well. So we're gonna kind of like take it over here in this left lane for a little bit, and get things, people going, they're not even what they're supposed to be, and then pull some big swerve, on everybody.
Yeah, I like it. I like it. It sets up. There's some intriguing unknown elements going on. Magnum, I guess before we move on, too, you mentioned how like WWE's kind of needs to really heat up in certain ways when it comes to getting ready for WrestleMania season, getting ready for the Netflix thing. You were talking about how kind of a lot of this stuff has seemed like in predictable fashion in certain ways, I think is what you were saying last week. Wanted to get your thoughts after the fact here with Saturday night's main event and with what they're kind of been doing now, like heading into the Christmas, week here coming up. Are you seeing something take fruition a little bit? How are you kind of feeling overall at this moment with it?
Court's still out for me. I don't see a clear path yet. And maybe they're just not going to show it to us till they play their hand in January.
Yeah.
They may just be sitting there twiddling their thumbs going, man, I'd love to, turn all these flipping monsters loose. But, I know they've got a plan. It's just trying to get to that next thing and get there. And in the process, there's not been one, like ho-hum match. Everybody's out there busting their ass. The kids are, everybody's working hard. Creative's working hard. Everybody's, still turning in a quality product. We've just come to expect so much from the storyline and be invested in what's next. And oh my gosh, we don't know why Randy Orton's, seemingly sitting off on a shelf here.
Yeah.
And it's like, like when he was there, they were using him to kind of elevate some other people, which was, you got this big money ball player you just re-signed for however many years and paying him all these big bucks, and he looked like $1 million, and he obviously moved the deal, did some good things for him. But a guy that's that good, if you don't have a clear path on what you're going to do with him, you're better off to kind of have him sitting off the wings till you know what you're going to do, because he's so good, he's going to overshadow other things that just don't have all the same chemistry sprinkled in it that he brings to the dance. I honestly could see Cody turning heel. I could see him. Back.
Cody?
I could totally see Cody turning heel, because at some point in time, he only carried this part of his persona so long, and he could probably be equally as hated as he has been loved.
Oh, 100%. Yeah. That's what I was going to follow up with too, because they did tease a little of that, didn't they, at the end of the main event here, and how he won the match because Kevin Owens had a pin on him, and Kevin Owens, being the heel, brought in a steel chair ultimately. Cody caught him for the crossroads, but he had the option to either just hit him with the crossroads or hit him with the crossroads on the steel chair, and he chose the latter. So are you foreseeing that as a little hint that we will be getting a Cody heel turn? Greg, what do you think? Magnum's already
yeah, I don't see it.
Yeah.
I don't. He's so hot, and they don't have another one, somebody in that babyface thing that could carry it like Cody's carrying it.
Oh, you could if you bring back Randy.
Oh yeah, Randy, yeah. But they did the same thing to Cody. To what they did to Randy, what Owens did, he did the same thing to Cody. And they put him out on the stretcher. Now, does that mean they're going to keep him off for a while?
I think they're just holding off, maybe till Netflix.
Till Netflix?
They're giving him a little breather, I think, and he'll come back for the Netflix show. Once Raw gets to Netflix, Cody will show up again.
I tell you what he did to Cody looked better than what he did to Randy.
Yeah. I think I could have done
220, 290.
Yeah, there's a little bit of difference. Oh my gosh!
Well, he held him up. It was a devastating finish. That's for sure.
He heard all the hell we gave him over the what he gave to Randy. He said, "I'm going to show those guys
I'll show Magnum what's up.
They're not going to criticize me anymore.
Nope, that ain't gonna
But
happen.
I missed that thing.
Kevin's amazing, and he's as good on the mic as he is on the ring.
Yeah, he is.
I remember when he blew in the scene the first time, and I didn't know anything of his background or how long he'd been in the business or whatnot. I'm going, who is this guy in these goofy shorts and wearing this shirt and then he just had all the, he had a lot of dustyism in him that he just knew how to connect with the people, and it didn't matter what he looked like, and he could still, he could do it. The things he does in the ring at his size are just flipping amazing.
Oh yeah.
Absolutely nuts.
Yeah.
Have you ever seen a picture of his son?
Oh, he's monstrous.
Oh
Who's
my
that?
God.
Kevin Owens' son?
No.
Oh, he's a giant. He's only a teenager. I think he's just turned to like 18 maybe.
Yeah, he looks like he's like a miniature giant.
Yeah.
No kidding.
Oh
yeah.
my God. Yes.
He morphs his dad. He makes his dad look like a little kid.
It's great. Oh my gosh, I'm seeing a picture right now. Hold on a second.
Can you put it up for all of us?
Yeah, let me get it here. Wow,
just to take. While you're doing that, I need your address. And TA, did you ever get the Christmas card?
If I did, my kids are sitting on it somewhere. I haven't seen it yet.
I sent out about 25 that day, and nobody has got them.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Well, I'll give you my address here.
Well, are you sure you were at the post office?
No, I put them right in the mailbox down here.
Do you have an evil note?
Unless the picture on it is so good, everybody wanted one.
That's what it is.
Laura looks great on it.
Well, hold on. I'm trying to pull up this picture here. It's going to take me a second. But wow, he is tall. I'm seeing a picture right now of him.
I'm glad you're watching him.
I'm glad you get to see him. Hold on. I think I got it now.
You want Mr. Technology to talk you through that, how you get it on?
You got to push me through this, Greg. Here it is. All right. You guys ready? Here he is. Kevin Owens' son, right on the far right there.
Holy Jesus.
Yeah, and he's only 18, I think.
Yeah. Yeah.
Wow.
Somebody trained him.
Yeah.
6'3"?
I think he's got to be. I would think so, at least, right?
Oh, he's huge.
270, 280.
Yeah.
Well, Kevin's.
He's got the feet turn the same way Kevin's do.
Yeah. Just bigger.
Yeah.
Boy, yeah, man.
Is he training him? Or he's probably two. How old is he? 18?
He's only 18, I think.
Yeah.
Speaking of kids training, have you seen Goldberg's kid lately?
Oh my God, Gage.
No. Who is it?
Oh,
that he's looking.
Who's he playing ball for?
Colorado.
Yeah, he is.
Prime.
Oh, is he playing for Colorado University? Colorado.
He's playing for Dion. Yeah, yeah.
Oh, well, shit! The one kid from won the Heisman Trophy from Colorado.
Travis Hunter.
Yeah, a defensive player.
Yeah, let's see if I can find. Oh, look that's a great photo of him and his dad right there. All right, I'll show. He's got a great look. His Goldberg son. Holy smokes!
Yeah, well, rumors are they've already targeted him at the in the machine.
Yeah, he would be, man.
What position does he play? Do you know?
That's a good question. I'll have to look it up. I think he's a linebacker.
Is he starting or is he?
I don't think so. No, he's just a freshman.
Okay.
But here he is. Look at him. Good looking kid.
Yeah.
There's holding his dad.
Yep.
Man. Yeah, you can't get. Man, imagine him and Braun Breaker. Wow. You think about that kind of stuff. A lot of potential there.
He's kind of a heartthrob looking kid, though.
Yeah, a dreamboat.
Yeah.
Man, yeah.
Bill had that hair when he was playing pro ball.
Yeah. He had a hair back then.
Yeah, he didn't shave his head until he started wrestling.
Mm-hmm.
Did he work up there with you with the Crockett's?
No, he didn't break. He didn't break in the business until late 90s. Late 90s, yeah.
Yeah, like 96, maybe 97 for sure is when he started. The funny thing is, like Kevin Nash said, when he used to bounce at the bar down in Atlanta, Goldberg during college would come into the bar, like into the strip joint he was at and stuff like that. So, so Kevin knew him like from way back too. So that's kind of wild.
Yeah.
So yeah, it'll be interesting to see if Gage gets involved and what's to come for him, whether that's pro football or pro or a little bit of both. Who knows? Okay, so what I wanted to do is play this Drew McIntyre clip for you guys.
Yeah, please do.
Okay.
What happened? He was on Busted Open Radio. I believe he won their Wrestler of the Year award. And Mark Henry asked him a question. So I'll pull this up. Let me make sure I got the file here. I think it's under my.
I like Drew. He's a great.
Undoubtedly, guys, I really do think he is the Wrestler of the Year because of what he was able to do without an opponent that was actually active in the ring. CM Punk was hurt for most of the year, and he made that the best feud of 2024, I think. All right, so here's the clip. Let's see.
Losing championships, you've carved out a path based on your opinion of what things should be and sticking to that. How does it feel to make other people follow suit, like you said? You see other people following suit.
And it's good. It's good for the industry. It's good for everybody. And if I felt the same way I felt a few months ago, I'd be really happy. I've always given to this industry, probably too much, and I never really feel like I got too much back. And I would be over the moon if I felt like people were following suit and it was going to be good for industry in the future. And to be completely honest, after Hell in the Cell, I went back home. A close family member died. I don't care about the staples in my head, all that shit. Like, I can get over injuries. I've showed up with broken bones. I never told the office and worked right through it. But I've never had true time at home ever in 17 years. I've only ever been home when there's a wrestling show. I've missed weddings, birthdays, some funerals I should have been at just for this industry. My mum passed. I went home for a couple of weeks. I was straight back at work. I never truly dealt with it. And then going home this time and spending real time with my family, I realized I might have made a mistake. I've given and given and given and given to this industry, and it's taken and taken and taken from my real family. And I'm trying to keep it together. I respect everybody sitting with me right now. But as much as we're on the road, we call each other family. That's a matter of convenience. I was with my real family, and when I was gone for that 3 months, I can count on pretty much one finger how many people checked in, like, how you doing, Drew? And it really opened my eyes. What's going on around here. I tried to stay away from the social media and the likes. Obviously, I'll be back ripping people, being myself. But I see things like someone cuts a 1-minute promo and, that's the best promo of the year, or what have you done for me lately? The same old crap. And it occurred to me, like, why are we placating so much to the smart marks, to the internet fans? When did things change? And I realized it wasn't like when we started together. I was a young kid. It's when we started letting the marks in the locker room. And it's really getting to me, and I hate to say this, I gave and gave and gave. And as far as in wrestling on TV is concerned, I'm going to take and take and take. Like, tomorrow morning, I'm still going to be out there helping the homeless, things that really mean something to me. But when it comes to Drew McIntyre on TV, Drew McIntyre in general, I really hate to say this because I didn't believe it till the past, until I saw the proof right in front of my face, the lack of contact, and the look in my family's face, and realizing everything that I've missed, that I'm just going to take from now on. I mean, I'll leave this industry. I won't be one of those guys when I was a kid in the locker room during the Indies, so we're just chasing that last paycheck, just chasing that last shot of glory. Please remember me. When I leave, when I retire, I'll have accomplished everything. And it doesn't matter if you're Mark Henry, Billy Ray, Tommy Dreamer, Drew McIntyre, Stone Cold Steve Austin. When you're gone, they move on, they forget, and it sucks, but it's true. So as far as I'm concerned, when it comes to the internet, I don't give a fuck about your opinion.
And there it was.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Heartfelt.
Yep.
Told it the way it is. Good for him.
Absolutely. So obviously, like, there's so much truth into what he was saying when it comes to him personally. And I'm sure for you guys and for everybody that has been a prominent factor in the industry and what they give back to the business. I also do think he's walking that fine line of being that heelish persona that he is in the same way, but he's doing it in a very brilliant fashion where he's speaking truth to it all. So just yeah, I just want to get your guys' thoughts. Maybe you can share from a personal aspect, but also just how Drew delivered all that. Magnum, we'll start with you, and then Greg, we'll get your thoughts.
Okay.
Well, that's what Drew has done so well, all this time. His total disdain and the things that brought this whole feud and everything with him and CM Punk were he made very personal, and he had real logical reasons to feel the way he did. That people, if they had put their years in the business and dedicated and sacrificed and done without and sacrificed time that could never be gotten back with families, and then have a guy come back in who hadn't had that same commitment, not just for a minute, but for 10 years.
Yeah.
To come back in to your battleground and want to be in that top tier group. There are real brotherhoods out there. There's guys that you got them, you can name them on one hand, guys that you can count on through thick and thin. And you have, to his point, it is a big brotherhood and a family, when you're all traveling on the road together and spending all this time, and you're more time with them than you are with your own, flesh and blood. But to his point, when he was gone, nobody was checking in on him and doing health checks, saying, how you doing? Hey, miss you. I want you to come back, whatever. So, he's speaking real truths, about things, the industry, sacrifices people made, and more than most sacrifices that are made, for selfish reasons. Because we all love to perform, and we wanted to be the best, recognized as the best, but we got instant gratification every time we stepped in that ring. Whether you're a heel or a babyface, you had a job to do, and if your job is to make them boo and hate and want to kill you, you got satisfaction out of doing that. If you're out there to make them cry and sit on the edge of their seat and try to help you fight back from adversity, we got satisfaction from that. And it's almost like an insatiable drug that you can never get enough of. And we can point at more broken families and dysfunctional kids and everything else that have come from this lifestyle and this thing. And I'll say quite bluntly, my career ended in the blink of an eye at 27 years old, and there is no way in God's green earth, had I followed my career path, that I would be the dad of 7 kids. It's not because of not being. You could be a dad and father children, but to be a dad and be involved in their lives is 2 different things.
Right.
And he's talking enough truths that he will get people's attention, because they'll have to think, they'll have to reflect, and he'll blur enough of that line of reality that he'll continue to reinvent people's interests and what he's going to do next. But I do like the statement he made about, when I'm through, I will have done what I wanted to do, and I won't be trying to relive my glory years and doing this and doing that. I mean, I will say, I mean, there's a handful of people that have had long, drug out, careers and still have been entertaining and are funny and whatnot. And then there's been guys that, it would have been nice to remember them a little more, just at the top of their game, and not, trying to hang on, not a year or 2 longer, but 15 or 20 years, too long. And, I'm thankful, because I think I've told this on the show before. I mean, my goal was to be out by the time I was 30, because I didn't think men in their mid 30s need to be running around in their underwear acting like superheroes. I just thought that was a youthful thing that you did, then he moved on and did something else. So yeah, I really like the lane he's in, and I think it's cool that and really he said what we all want to say to the internet and daggone people that want to sit behind their keyboards and say things just to get just to get attention. I mean, I don't mind somebody having a difference of opinion with me. We don't all have to like the same exact things, but people that just play that troll game to try to make themselves relevant for a minute off of somebody else's notoriety. You need to cowboy up and go find something else to do, because that's just weak.
Yeah, weak stuff. Greg, yeah, great points, I think.
TA said it all. And I go back to our start in professional wrestling and how the AWA, Vern gave his people time off to be with their families.
Mm-hmm.
And when I looked at the other, Florida, North Carolina, everywhere else, those guys are wrestling every day of the week and on the road every day of the week. And it is very difficult for the family. And my father's big thing was, give the guys an opportunity to spend time with their families. And we had that time there. So I never went through that, but, you go through the other things. Thank God, I still look at, Instagram and some of that stuff. I'm looking at it once in a while, and you'll see things on there and what people say about myself and other wrestling talents. It's really cutting, and they don't know you personally. They don't know what you've been through and what you had to go through to get where you were at. And I had one guy, I happened to see it, I don't know, a couple of weeks ago. They were talking about me, and he said, well, he looked more like a insurance salesman than a wrestler. It's things like that. And my dad said, he taught me growing up, you're going to be criticized quite a bit. You're going to be criticized in wrestling because of your size. You're going to be criticized here and there. You're Vern's dad. Just let it roll off your back, like water off a duck's back. You can't, if you listen to everybody, you'll never be successful. Be who you are, do what you do best, and that's all you can ask. And we've lived by that. And I can really feel for Drew, how emotionally he was in that interview. I mean, that was heartfelt. That's really how he that wasn't a promo.
Mm-hmm.
That was telling it the way it really is for him right now. And it has been. And all that hard work, 10 years on that road, up and down, missing funerals, missing, weddings and everything else. I mean, God, it's a tough life.
Yeah,
it really is. And I commend him for coming out and just telling it the way he felt. A lot of guys won't do that. And ladies.
Well, and what you said, Greg, too, and you've said this several times on the show, too, when it came to giving advice to somebody like CM Punk or anything like that, is speak from your heart. And that's speaking from your heart. Mm-hmm. And that's not only that, it's something that everybody can relate to. Yep. But in the same turn, he's also a heel. So it just adds the aspect of, man, you can relate to this heel, but he's still a heel. And ultimately, you're going to see him do some dastardly things on television that will still, once you'll have that connection and relationship with him. And ultimately, a payoff will come too at that moment when they decide to turn him babyface. But all those truths that he spoke, I mean, it's a sobering aspect of the pro wrestling industry and of the entertainment industry in general. There's this old Dean Martin movie called Career. And it's about, there's another actor, I don't remember his name, but it was all about the pursuit of becoming a successful actor. And they go throughout the course of time of him trying to achieve that. And ultimately he gets it, but he misses a lot in the grand scheme of it. It comes down to it. So it's, I thought really well done, really set a good tone for Drew moving forward, but like took everybody back and made you take a look at the wrestling business and what the industry does to your personal life.
No, it does. I mean, it takes a toll. It really does. And I commend TA, and it's unfortunate for the accident, without a doubt. I mean, he was a superstar and he was at the time going to be probably NWA champion at some point. Yeah. If he wouldn't have been there, we'd have got him in the AWA, and he sure would have been there for sure. But it's the time you miss with your family. And I was very fortunate enough because I was able to take my kids, coach them in football, baseball, and I took the time, took it away from work. But other territories, that probably wouldn't have happened.
Right.
And then the kids grow up in front of you and you don't know them. And that's what happens in this business. And Drew put it out there just the way it is. And unfortunately, but, I suppose, I don't know, how much are they working a week for the WWE?
I would say they have a pretty steady schedule. I think they'll do the Raw, who's ever on Raw, who's ever on SmackDown, but then they have the live events over the weekend. So I'd say maybe like 3 to 4 times a week, maybe. And maybe 4 is a little generous, because I think I would ultimately say it's probably like 3 times a week, including.
And if their families aren't living there where they're at, they fly home and they're with them for a day and then come back. It's tough, but
it's pretty nice though. I mean, in the timing of Drew saying this, but in the same turn, SmackDown was taped, Raw was taped, so these the guys and gals will have time with their families, all day here, which is nice.
Hopefully.
So hopefully. Cool. We're at about an hour. I did want to take a moment to get just a couple questions in from our fans. I want to just shout out people. Logan's in here. Eddie Prather, Lil Patty, who clarifies for us, Kevin Owens' son, 6'8".
What?
There you go. I thought
he's what?
Bigger than that. Yeah.
6'8".
Is he really?
Uh-huh.
God, where he was standing, he only looked maybe.
I know he looked big, but
big,
I mean,
but
Kevin's not a little guy. He dwarfs him.
Jesus Christ, 6'8".
6'8".
I wonder if he plays any sports.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I'm not sure what he's been involved in, but man, I think if I'm not mistaken, that he's kind of been just dipping his toe maybe in the ring. I could be wrong at that, but that's what I think I heard.
Mm-hmm.
All right, here's an interesting question. Now, I will say, I think this was just brought up on my brother's podcast with Jake the Snake. Magnum, this might pop you. So hold on a second. Okay, Paul Shaw says, hey, Magnum, what was the deal in Florida tag match with Brian Blair when Jimmy Garvin got beat up and Jake left him hanging? Do you remember that? I heard a little something. I don't want to disclose it if you don't know it, but it is a very entertaining story.
I don't know the story. I don't know. I was probably there.
You were there. You were in the tag match with Brian Blair.
What did you do?
You got a great memory.
Okay. Are you okay? It's nothing risque, but I do. So, but this involved, apparently you and Brie Brian Blair, there was a couple ladies you were trying to attract, and you were working with Jimmy Garvin and Jake, and you wanted to do like a spot that was going to make you guys look good. And apparently they rode you to
that hadn't been Brian, because I never suggested anything. I didn't need any help with the ladies either. So,
okay.
that might have been a Brian Blair thing. That's believable.
Okay, so apparently they took a moment. Jake and Jimmy took a moment to ride you two like horses in the ring, and you beat the crap out of Jimmy Garvin. That's what I heard.
That's
and then Jake
possible.
Bill.
And see, And see, Brian probably instigated it. They didn't smarten me up, and it probably pissed me off, and I beat the crap out of Jimmy.
Yeah. And Jake left him
That's
hanging.
very possible.
Yeah.
And I didn't need much provocation because I was like, those guys were. We're just. It was a rowdy bunch. I mean, we had guys like Angela Mosca and Kevin Sullivan and the Purple Haze. And I was there when Kendo Nagasaki was conceived by Terry Funk when he gave him the haircut and painted his face and made him Kendo Nagasaki. It had one of his first matches when his ninja skills back kicked my front teeth through my upper lip.
God.
Yeah, but yeah, it was a lot of shenanigans went on back then. And Jake, funniest thing with Jake was we looked so much the same in just a head frame.
Yeah,
and it happened to I know it happened to him. It happened to me. I'd walk by a monitor and he'd be doing a promo, and I'm going, I'm here. Is that tape? What is that? Because it was eerie. I mean, there was a time when we looked so like brothers, it wasn't even funny.
And you guys would have made a heck of a tag team too.
Oh, geez, yeah. And Jake, gosh, he was just an amazing worker. Yeah, I didn't get to work with him after I really learned how to work. I was green as a stinking grass, but I was so full of vim and vigor they didn't know what to do with me, so they had to work with me. They try to keep you calm down.
I got to turn a little light on here. I'm getting pretty dark. Hang on.
Nice and shady. But let me see here if there's anything else I wanted to touch upon real quick. Greg does have the light on. I think that'll do it, actually. Let me see. I think Eddie had a decent question, though. Let me see if I can find it real quick. I can't find it, Eddie. If I see it later on, I'll be sure to ask it next week. But yes, Logan's been really asking about a lot of the Powertown stuff and stuff with the MLW line.
We are fast and furious developing the Galoob lineup, and it is really. Greg hasn't seen any of the prototype work yet. I just got a new batch of things from our designer today, but it's really neat. It's a different stylization than anything we've done. It's a Galoob style is about a 4.5 inch tall static figure in pose, and it's going to be cool. And it's something we can do much quicker than the articulating figures. So give us a line that we can do a lot of people mixed in that we've our long game process is so blimmin' long, but the Remcos, both the Remcos and the Ultras have a very similar timeline of production. They're very intricate because of all the moving parts and the degree of paint and detail and things that we do with all of them. So they're really intricate, but these things that are one shot in one mold and pops out of the mold and put the deco on it, it's ready to go. I think that's going to be a neat piece for us. So I'm anxious to have that pop on the scene and also be able to announce to the world what we're doing with the Mask Republic group. Both of those coming to you sometime in January.
Very exciting. Very exciting.
Yeah, everybody be patient because TA's been busting his butt, him and Steve Rosenthal, and we got a lot of great things coming up, and I'm keeping all the talent.
You're the facilitator.
They've got a little whip now. I got him a whip and like a lion tamer thing. He's got to keep them back.
You got the yeah. Greg's like Indiana Jones. He's got
I'm keeping them back. I just hope I don't lose them.
We got them. You can't lose them. They get mad, but you can't lose them.
Can't lose them.
Good. And we got can we tell them who signed last week with us or not?
Why not?
All right, Greg, you wanted to make the announcement? I'll put you up full screen.
Well, he was a former AWA champion at one time. A Rick Martel.
Ooh. How about
We're
that?
excited to have him on board. and him and Tito Santana were a pretty good, excellent tag team here in the AWA. And we had some horrendous matches with them, just phenomenal.
Man,
so we got both of those two on board.
Rick Martel's becoming a pretty big fan favorite too on social media. You see a lot of
he is
talking how underappreciated he was and everything. That's really cool. That'll be really fun to see. Good for Rick. Great for Powertown. That's awesome. So cool little announcement there. Very exciting. You guys got to keep your eyes peeled. Bookmark Powertown over there, that little QR code. Go to powertownwrestling.com. Make sure you bookmark that website so you can keep tabs on everything going down and what will be to come. Very excited. I'm really excited for that Galoob line. I think that's really, really cool thing to do and quick process, I'm sure, in comparison. So that'll be really nice. What else is nice is the merchandise we have on OneTrueSport.com for these two gentlemen. Greg Gagne, we got the Zip hoodie, High Flyer, both in black and in dark blue.
Have you sold one yet?
No, not yet. We're working on that, Greg. Okay. We're working on that.
I'll buy the first couple.
Look, yeah, we'll have. Pulling back the curtain. We're gonna have a social media guy help us out here to really promote a lot more stuff when it comes to merchandise.
You get it on the social media.
That's going to be the key. So David Von Boglin, going to give him a shout out now. He's going to be our big social media guy moving forward, and he's going to help out in a big way. So, but yes, you'll see advertisements like this, Dress Like a Champion t-shirt, OneTrueSport.com. And yes, so we not only do we have Greg Gagne, but hey, we got that other guy too. His name's Magnum TA, and we got a zip up hoodie there. Looks good with the classic logo. There's a hat you can get for Magnum, then a mug, the Boss of Chesapeake, Virginia. And then there's a series of t-shirts too that also includes Nikita, but you can also get a Magnum TH Boss of Chesapeake tee, and you can get the best of 7 on the back of that t-shirt. You have all the matches listed on the back. So a very unique shirt there. Go to OneTrueSport.com and check out all the collections we have there. I'm going to make you guys tassel hats too, like little beanies too, that we can sell. So
I want to know that the statue of TA with the baseball bat, you're selling a lot of those?
We should make one, maybe a Galoob of that, Magnum. A Galoob of you.
That for sure.
Yes.
That for sure. You should make a little statue out of it.
I think so. I think so. I don't have the capability of that, but I'd be more than happy to have it on the website.
Well, who's doing all your merchandise?
We go through a site called Shopify that helps us produce.
Well, ask them about that. That'd be a great. I think people would.
I'll hand burn my name in the baseball bats.
Perfect.
Yeah. Ooh, I like it. I like it. Man, at the events, at conventions, you just take a branding iron.
A branding iron and brand them. Oh, I like that. Oh, yes.
That's right.
Can you see it? Nothing could go wrong with that.
No, you'll be fine. No fire hazards. Nothing like brand fans if they really want it. You get the.
That's what I'm saying. Whoop, move your hand.
Whoops, sorry.
Have you seen that big thing coming up in New York? What is the Fanatics or they're doing all the? What is that called again?
The Fanatics Fest. That'll be in June.
June. Have they called you on it yet?
I don't know what you're talking about.
They have all the guys come and sign pictures and that. They have the big event.
And it's in New York, right?
It's in New York.
Yeah, that'll be in the summer.
Yeah, I didn't get the call either.
Not yet. There's plenty.
Well, yeah, but I have honestly, and people are always great. I had been to that venue probably a half a dozen times in the last 5 years, and I don't care if I ever drive up there again, ever. I've been there, done that, got the T-shirt, got the toll tickets, got it all, everything I needed from there. I'm good.
You're good. Okay.
Send me a video.
I don't think I'm not invited, so I don't think.
Not yet. Not yet. You never know, Greg. Neither of you are either of you heading to Indianapolis for Royal Rumble?
Where?
WrestleCon there? Indianapolis.
I think it's in Minneapolis. Yeah, if it's Minneapolis, I'd maybe go down. Indianapolis.
Yeah.
Unless they're flying me in, I can't make that trip.
All right. Just checking. Yeah. That's all. I'll be at least in Vegas for WrestleMania. So
I would imagine you would be.
Yeah. So gonna gamble all my money away that I don't have.
Yeah, perfect.
Yeah. But hey, what I do have that I will never gamble away is the time I enjoy with you guys. Greg Gagne, Magnum TA. You can follow Greg on Instagram at gagne.greg. You can follow Magnum on Instagram at magnum_TA. And you can follow me on Instagram at dom.d'angelo. So give us all a shout out and give us 5 stars every week. We're on. It's a new episode on Four Horsemen Network. Type that in on your podcast feed. You get Greg Gagne, Magnum TA, and you get Arn Anderson's on there too. So give us 5 stars on there. Be sure to support us that way. And yes, get the word out about the show. We're going to get some more views and stuff like that. This should be a newsworthy episode. I'm going to clip it up. Hopefully we can rope some people in and they can check stuff out and we'll get things. I'm expecting fun and big things in 2025 moving forward. So, and I'm happy to have these guys along with me, and I appreciate the support, everybody tuning in and joining in on the conversation. So we'll do this again next week. And will we? Because it's Christmas. We'll wait on that. Well, it'll be I'll be in my sister's at the time, so maybe we'll think of something.
Well, put your sister on there with us.
I'll get my sister on there and my nephews and all that stuff. Big Christmas kind of shindig. Maybe
you bring the cat.
No, the cat's staying here. I got a couple people gonna be watching that rascal. They'll be knocking all this shit over too at some point.
Well, if we don't do anything before Christmas, both of you have a Merry Christmas, and anybody out there viewing, have a Merry Christmas.
Have a Merry Christmas, everybody. If we don't see you.
We don't see you. Otherwise, we'll give you another one next week.
That's right. Either way, you're going to get some straight talk with the boss. And that's the facilitator, Greg Gagne. He is the toughest looking insurance salesman I've ever seen.
Thank you.
We have Magnum TA. He's the boss. We'll see you next time.
Boss.
On Straight Talk with the boss. See you guys.
See you guys.
Hold on.